So, is the 2026 Honda HR-V the crossover that's about to shake up the entire compact SUV segment? That's the big question today. And honestly, the answer might just surprise you. The HR-V has been a quiet performer in the compact crossover space for years. Practical, efficient, and a bit understated. But in 2026, Honda seems to have had a bit of a wake-up call. They've rethought what this vehicle should be and packed it with features, upgrades, and design choices that don't just feel like an update. They feel like a statement. And that statement is pretty clear. The HR-V is here to compete hard. Let's start with the first thing anyone notices: the look. The 2026 Honda HR-V is not just different, it's striking. Honda's designers have ditched the soft curves and generic crossover feel for something bolder. The front fascia now features a wider grille with a mesh pattern that gives it a sportier, more aggressive edge. Flanking that grille are sleeker LED headlights that almost seem to wrap into the fenders, giving the car a forward-leaning, assertive presence. There's a certain sharpness to the lines on this HR-V that really works, especially around the hood and sides, where the sculpting gives off a more premium, even European vibe. It sits a little lower and wider than you might expect, which helps with stability and gives it a planted look on the road. Depending on the trim, you'll get either 17 or 18-inch wheels, both redesigned with a more athletic look. In fact, the whole stance of the HR-V now feels more mature and modern, almost like a smaller sibling to the CR-V, but with its own confident identity. It's the kind of crossover that doesn't blend into traffic. It turns heads, even if subtly. Moving inside, the surprise continues. Honda has clearly been paying attention to what drivers actually want. The cabin in the 2026 HR-V is spacious, clean, and thoughtfully laid out. Materials have seen a big upgrade. Even on the lower trims, soft-touch surfaces are everywhere you expect them to be, and there's this interesting honeycomb mesh trim that runs across the dashboard. It's not just aesthetic, it also hides the air vents in a way that looks clean and intentional. It's a small detail, but it shows Honda's design team is aiming higher. Seating is another win here. The front seats are well bolstered and supportive without being too firm. For taller drivers, the legroom and headroom are surprisingly generous, especially considering this is a compact SUV. In the back, two adults can sit comfortably with more space than you'd expect in this segment. And yes, cargo space is still one of the HR-V's best tricks. With the rear seats up, you get around 25 cubic feet of space, and with them folded down, it opens up to over 55 cubic feet, flat and usable. Perfect for grocery hauls, weekend trips, or even tossing in a bike if needed. Tech-wise, the HR-V finally feels like it's caught up to the times. You've got a standard 7-inch digital driver display and either a 7-inch or 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system, depending on the trim. The larger screen looks sharp, is easy to navigate, and finally supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Thank you, Honda. The user interface is clean, fast, and most importantly, not overly complicated. Physical volume and climate knobs are still present, which will make a lot of drivers happy. And now to the part you've probably been waiting for. How does it drive? The 2026 HR-V comes with a naturally aspirated 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine, making around 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque. That's the same engine as the Civic, and while it's not going to blow your socks off, it's more refined than you'd think. Acceleration is modest, yes, but what stands out is how composed the drive feels. Steering is responsive, body roll is minimal, and the ride is impressively smooth, even over rough pavement. Honda's updated platform really shows here. It feels stable and confident at highway speeds, and around town it's nimble and easy to park. There's an available all-wheel drive system too, which adds extra grip for those in snowier climates or anyone who likes that extra security. The CVT transmission is tuned better than before. It doesn't whine or lag as much, and it simulates gear shifts under hard acceleration to avoid that rubber band feeling. Fuel economy is solid as well. You're looking at around 28 mpg in the city and 34 on the highway with front-wheel drive, slightly less if you opt for all-wheel drive. Not groundbreaking, but very competitive. And with a fuel tank that holds just over 14 gallons, you're getting a decent driving range between fill-ups. Safety is another area where the HR-V pulls ahead. Honda includes its full Honda Sensing Suite as standard on all trims. That means adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, forward collision warning with automatic emergency braking, and road departure mitigation, all included. There's also blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert on the EXL trim and above. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration hasn't released full crash test ratings yet, but based on Honda's track record and the HR-V structure, we're expecting high marks. If you're thinking about pricing, Honda keeps things reasonable. The base LX starts around $25,000, the Sport trim jumps up to around $27,000 and adds some blacked-out trim, larger wheels, and a few extra features. Then there's the EXL trim, which is the most fully loaded version and comes in just under $30,000. It brings leather upholstery, a premium audio system, power driver seat, and the larger touchscreen infotainment system. All-wheel drive adds about $1,500 to any trim. It's competitively priced, but more importantly, it feels like you're getting your money's worth, especially when you start looking at competitors like the Toyota Corolla Cross, the Mazda CX-30, or even the Subaru Crosstrek. All right, let's break it down with some quick pros and cons. On the plus side, the 2026 HR-V has a sleek, modern design that finally feels bold. The interior quality is genuinely impressive, especially on higher trims. It's spacious for both passengers and cargo. The tech has finally caught up to the times. Wireless CarPlay, a smooth touchscreen, digital displays, and safety features are top tier across the board. On the downside, the engine, while refined, is a bit underpowered for drivers looking for excitement. There's no turbocharged option, no hybrid, at least for now, and some rivals offer more punch under the hood. But here's the bottom line. The 2026 Honda HR-V is no longer just the safe, sensible choice. It's a genuinely strong contender in the compact SUV market. Honda listened, and it shows. They've made something that looks better, drives better, and feels more premium than ever before, all without pricing it out of reach. It's perfect for young professionals, small families, or really anyone who wants a do-it-all vehicle that won't let them down. If you're looking for power or something sporty, you might want to consider other options. But if you're after comfort, reliability, and modern features packed into a sharp-looking package, this HR-V should absolutely be on your shortlist. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more real reviews just like this one. Let us know in the comments what you think of the 2026 HR-V and whether it's enough to challenge the competition or even replace your current ride. See you in the next video.